All right, welcome to the Real Talk Football TV Premier League debate show. Got myself chat with Tobias. All right, transfer rumor. People talking about Nunez going, Nunez staying. What do you think Liverpool should do? I know you're Man United, man. What do you think Liverpool should do with Darwin Nunez? I got my theory, and I'm going to try and be quite balanced with the argument for and against, because I think at the moment with Nunez, it's basically with Liverpool fans, it's basically you got one half saying get rid of him, he's crap, red missed chances, and then people think keep him, he's got all the attributes, he's going to come good, red. For a person from the outside looking in, what do you think Liverpool should do with him? What would you do?
I wouldn't say it's split halfway. I think your fans love him, absolutely love him. I think he suits Liverpool in that way because he does wear his heart on his sleeve. He is tenacious. He is that type of striker, that like a Suarez type, if you know what I mean, in terms of his attitude, and will run all day long, and fans love that. So that being said, I've always been consistent with Nunez from the first time I saw him.
Yeah.
I said he will score goals for Liverpool because it's hard not to in a way, and that's not discrediting him. I don't think he's a terrible player. I know it's easy to sit here and say he's terrible and all the rest of it, but I think the money plays a big part in it, doesn't it? And it always does when you spend so much on a player and he lacks certain elements, especially like first touch, or if he's a striker, being a finisher, and he's erratic. And I know he's had it. To be fair, he has had like a bit of a torrid in terms of outside fans giving it to him all the time consistently. So I think that's where the defence from the Liverpool fans come from. I think it mainly becomes just from defending one of their own. My stance changed. I would have said that if Klopp stayed, as I was saying, I always said that he score goals, but he won't be the difference to get you the title. If Klopp stayed, I think I think the expectation of Liverpool and what you were going to do, you would expect to challenge for the title, you'd expect to be fighting for trophies, etc., etc. So that being said, you would have said that maybe there's an argument for him to be sold to bring in someone of a better quality, who can finish those chances, because at the end of the day, those chances make the difference, don't they, between winning and losing. With Arne Slot, unknown, no one really knows. I think you're acceptant originally that you don't expect to be in a title race. I haven't heard many Liverpool fans arguing the fact that, okay, if you would have brought in a bigger named manager, so to speak, that's just Ancelotti because he's the first thing, then you're thinking you're fighting for the title, that type. But because he is of the unknown, you are accepting that this is going to be sort of a slow roller. You're going to give him a couple of years, no doubt, before you start getting on his back. So not knowing anything, I think he now can stay. I think there's an argument for now for Nunez to stay, at least for another season. At least for another season, to see if he fits into Slot's system, to see if Slot can improve him, and to see the next steps for you guys, really, because Slot apparently likes to play with a number 10. Will that be helpful for Nunez? We don't know. So yeah, take away the unknown. I think you can keep him for another season, and there's always that other argument of who do you sell him to buy? Do you know, like the obvious ones, the obvious targets for everyone is going to be the Osmans and players like that. But we said the lack of number 9s. You would have thought if Klopp again stayed, it's going for Mbappe because everyone knew where he was going. But you're looking at number 9s across the board, like we discussed last show. It's just like, where do you go? So, and how much do you take a hit on him? You're not going to recoup what you paid for him. Doubtful. So, yeah, he can stay another season, and then you reassess next year.
All right, I understand what you said, and your views are very balanced. I'm going to go with, personally, if this is Football Manager, you get rid of him straight away. straight away. He would one season you got rid of him within a heartbeat. I think what you said about the number 9s, I think that is relevant and it's true. I think if you're not going to sell him for and get someone like an Isak or that type of ilk of striker, it makes no sense. My problem is if Liverpool play a 4-2-3-1, I think you need a striker to have football intelligence playing up front if you're going to have to play a 4-2-3-1. And that's what he does not have. He has no football intelligence whatsoever. He runs offside all the time. The only thing he wants to do is run in behind. He makes loads of chances, which is great, but he's not ruthless enough for what you said. I think I've got the stats here. He's played 54 games, which he plays a lot, which is good. He's never hardly ever injured, but he's got 18 goals. And for someone who's 18 goals in all competitions, that's 11 in the league. So if a striker you spent 64 going up to 85 million pounds on, I don't think he's good enough. Personally, I don't think that is good enough for a striker of Liverpool's quality. He's been there for 2 years now. The numbers haven't gone through the roof. They've improved a little bit, especially his assists have gone better. But I think you look at his all-round play. I think Liverpool fans, I think what you said about other him, and I think that's true, and they've kind of defended him. But if you look at the overall stats, if you're of a generation who is between 25 and 40, you're from the era of seeing Michael Owen, Salah, Sturridge, Suarez, these type of strikers. And I know they're not about to buy.
You're frustrating yourself now, isn't it? Because we're far away from that era.
I know we are far from that era, but if you look at the crop of strikers that are here now, they're not that good, and he's not on the level of them type of. So that's what I'm saying. So I just ruled off like some elite strikers, but if you're looking at the strikers that are now playing, he's not on that level. And I think he's got great attributes. But
not though? Because if you look at it, who was Dortmund's striker the other night? He was
he's not good enough
striker, Hosselu on the bench.
Yeah.
That Mawani, who I liked, what's he done at PSG? What's Ramos done? Like who again was a hype. So you can reel off quite a few strikers, and you'll end up being back to the ones that have been question marks over them for ages, like Lautaro Martinez or something.
But Tobias, he's too frustrating. I know it's a person outside looking in, but he is so frustrating. Like he can do the great, the bad, and the ugly in a space of 5 minutes. He's just too frustrating. He'll pick the ball up, go past 2 players, take it around the goalkeeper, and just hit the post.
Yeah.
And then within 2 minutes, he's gone past 2, 30 yards, he smashed it into the top corner, or he's dinked the goalkeeper from about 10 yards.
But that doesn't matter if you're winning.
100%. But the difference is, it wouldn't look that bad if, for example, our other players were getting big numbers. Our other attacking players are getting big numbers. But we spent all that money on you to be that guy. And you haven't really been that guy. And I just think, no matter what he does, and he's a guy, reminds you of a bit like Rashford. He will have a magical season where all these chances will go in. And then you think the penny's dropped. Then the following year, he'll be back to 10, 12, 13 goals. That's going to be Nunez. That is going to be Nunez. And if you're going to deal with that, that's fine. But if Liverpool want to win leagues and Champions Leagues, in my personal opinion, I don't think he's good enough. I really don't.
Well, you changed your mind on Nunez about 6 times since he's been there.
No,
don't kill me. You first of all, yeah.
Tobias, I gave him one. I said, give him a chance. I think he's a good player. And then towards the end of the first season, I was like,
yeah. And then you jumped back on the train. When he had his spell mid-season. Don't give me that.
I said Nunez. No, I said Nunez
to me.
No, I said Nunez is doing okay. I said he's doing all right.
No,
he's doing all right. But
this is what I mean. Where's 1906 and where's Frenchy when I need him? Yeah, because you're just lying through your teeth right now. Yeah, you was on that Nunez train. He was gassing him. He's telling you. You
He
talking
had that
Mount?
spell. I won't talk about. Come on, Tobias. He was having that spell where he looked good. Then towards the now, he's gone down again, and that's going to be him. He's going to be a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. And I don't think you can have that, especially the way Liverpool play. So, like I said, we don't know how Slot's going to play. We don't know if he's going to play a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. If he plays a 4-2-3-1, you need a striker with football intelligence, and that to me, that's Gakpo or Jota. I don't see him playing as a 4-2-3-1. You need more than just a person running in behind. 4-3-3 works for him because it's a bit more where Liverpool play is a bit more ping ball and it's a bit more erratic. We played on emotion off the crowd and off the way we played. But if you give it a 4-2-3-1, which is structured, and you see how Arsenal they play their 4-2-3-1, they've got a false nine, and that's Havertz. So you need someone up there who's got that football intelligence, and he just doesn't have it. He just don't have it. That's what he does not have.
The problem is that if Diaz was putting up numbers as well as Salah, it's a different story, isn't it? I don't think all the focus is on Nunez. I think the focus has come on Nunez now is because he doesn't look as silky as what Diaz does. But Diaz is not too dissimilar. Better technically, but in terms of in front of goal, he flies to deceive. He's a terrific man like Diaz because he'll hit the bar, hit the post, it'll get deflected wide or something. But I think the deficiencies with you guys has been the lack of goals across the front rather than just Nunez this time. I'm not a big fan of Nunez. I never have been.
Tobias, I don't want to cut you, and you're right. But if Nunez was getting 25, 30, 40 goals a season, would we be talking about Diaz, how Diaz is? I don't think we will. It's the same thing like with Jack Grealish and Haaland. They've got a killer up front that gets 35. I think Grealish has got about 6 goals altogether, but no one talks about it because they've got someone up front that scores goals. Doku's the same, and I think eventually as Doku gets older, his numbers and his assists will go up. He's on an upward trajectory. But I think we don't talk about these guys because they have someone who gets the fair amount of goals.
I don't think he counts for Grealish though, because Grealish isn't a goal scorer. He's a feeder.
But he plays at it. But who said Diaz is a goal scorer? No one has.
No, but in terms of the way your system is, this is what I'm trying to say. Like Grealish will get away with it because you've got the 2 out of the 3 of them scoring goals, and Diaz, what's his assist ratio? I don't see him putting plenty on the plate because half of these are shots that are going screw. One thing I'll say about Grealish again, I don't think that he's justified the amount of money he was paid for him, and plus he does slip under the radar. But they win, so you will do when you win. So that's sort of accepted. But him, when Grealish plays, Haaland's a much better player because Grealish is just looking to feed the goal, and that's the type of player that Grealish is. And to be fair to Grealish, as a winger, as a forward man, he's a dream for you.
Yeah, but I think Diaz is like that as well. He likes to take on his fullback 1v1. He puts crosses in. Difference is, Man City have a killer to finish off the chances. More than likely, if you maybe look through Diaz's games, he maybe creates so many chances, but the players don't put the ball in the net. So it doesn't look like he's creating because they don't have killers. They have Haaland, then they got De Bruyne, then they've got Foden, then they've got Bernardo Silva chipping, Rodri, super clutch, comes up with big goals. They've got guys like that. So it looks better. We don't.
Goals, as you say, De Bruyne, what's De Bruyne's first thought in his head? What is the majority of those players' first thought in the head? It's to feed Haaland, isn't it? At the end of the day, and that was quite apparent when he first come. I don't think
Liverpool do the same thing with Nunez.
I reckon before Salah got injured or went to the AFCON, they was building up quite a good partnership, and he looked threatening. He was scoring goals at that time. I think that when that Salah went away, because Salah will look. One thing you say, Salah will look for Nunez. And he does look for Nunez because Nunez, his first thought is to try to give Salah the ball. So Nunez understands the hierarchy. This is the problem that Mane had because he didn't but they both wanted to be top dog, and neither of them was letting it go. Whereas Nunez's first thought in his mind, he will pass to Salah all day. So that partnership was working, and that's when he was scoring goals. Since that went, then he struggled a bit. Didn't struggle a bit, struggled quite a lot. But I agree with everything you're saying. I don't think he's a striker worth what you're paying for him. But what is out there, like every striker you're taking is a punt, and every striker that's not a punt, like an Isaac or who else is there? Osman, you're paying through the nose for.
Yeah.
Do you know, like,
and really, he's not Premier League proven, so you don't know if he's going to do it. So,
and now, like, we're talking about Ollie Watkins, and all respect to Ollie Watkins, I appreciate what he's done. He's playing great football at the minute,
but he's not elite.
To be leveled at the top 5 Premiership strikers,
mad.
He's crazy to me. That's to me personally. But
100%.
If this is where we are, this is where we are. And then where else are you looking? So you have a difficult situation on your hands right now.
Like I said, I don't think you're going to get the resale value. I don't think no one will be interested, really. The best you can maybe get is a loan to buy, like a Barcelona or Atletico Madrid, but you're not going to get your money back.
You're not going to get that money because that's Prem money. That's what Prem spends. If you're going to sell him you can't think about sending it in Italy unless they sell Osman, and Napoli might.
Yeah,
like bite your hand.
I think Atletico Madrid, he just looks like a Diego Simeone type player, just emotion crazy. I think he'll do wonders there at Atletico. The emotion of the emotion of the crowd, the manager.
I don't think he's techy enough for Diego. You know,
I think you'll like him, man.
I think
he likes that runners. He likes that. Remember, he plays a 4-4-2. Yeah, he plays straight 4-4-2, and I think with a striker running in behind and that guy coming off, he'd do what. Who was it? Morata. He do what Morata does. It's very similar. They're very similar type footballers. Very similar. I
hear you in that way. Morata's not. I think Morata himself, he's just got a bad rep in England. But across where he's played, he's got a good goal tally, across a good goal ratio.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He might have a good goal ratio in La Liga. That erratic running in behind it will cause problems.
He's played in La Liga before, isn't he, with Almeria? But I just don't think, was it? I think
it was La Liga B. It was even La Liga.
Wasn't even La Liga. Well, he plays in Spain, but I just don't believe what Depay, Griezmann, Morata, Carrera. They're all techie players. Like I haven't seen a Nunez play up top for Athletic.
Well, I just don't see him play for Arne Slot in a 4-2-3-1. In a more structured 4-2-3-1, he doesn't have to take the.
I do. If you put Szoboszlai behind him, and Szoboszlai is just giving him them slide-ins.
But when you have a 4-2-3-1, your striker needs to have intelligence. Needs to have good hold-up play, good link-up play. Good. You have to have an all-round striker, and he is not an all-round striker. He's very erratic for someone who's going to be 25 soon. Very erratic. I just don't see it. I can see Jota playing there or Gakpo. I think Gakpo's ideal. Difference is Gakpo needs to stay up there and be more of a selfish goal scorer than dropping deep, because we don't need to drop deep because we will play with number 10.
I don't see. I heard Barcelona want him. I was like, listen, if he goes Barca, them fans are waving them flags immediately. There's no way that Barca's seen a touch like that up front. They're having kittens. What, after Real Madrid just signed Mbappe, you got Nunez turning up at Barca, yeah? No,
I love it. Oh, mate.
No, the heads would go.
Crazy. All right, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. What should Liverpool do? Should they keep or sell? Tobias, last word.
Nunez in, man.
We are out.